LOVVORN lumber.com. Lavorn Lumber. Paying the bills, we'll take care of you.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 39 days.
But the average fan is out there excited about seeing Rohan Jones play this year.
Do you know what position?
Exactly. That was my next question. Does the average fan know what position Rohan Jones plays?
Who's that handsome hog? Who's calling through the fog? And who's that fearsome pig? So brave and strong and big. The fiercest swine in all the land. Never second best, he has the upper hand. Let's test your roster knowledge. Favorite college, sit up straight, cut the yakety yak. It's time for a name that Razorback.
What position do you play, Ty?
It's tight end.
Tight end. Who was the tight end?
Lucas.
And how many people still think he is?
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, I was going to open the show kind of down in the dumps because Tommy's not here. He's fishing. Bruce is not going to join us. Bruce Dan at Pradco Fishing because he's welcoming his new grandson this morning. Congratulations to his son and daughter-in-law. But you can't not get excited after hearing an open like that. Who's that Razorback? Be honest. If you were listening to the show yesterday and you heard the name Rohan Jones, did you have any idea, one, what position he played, two, if he was on Arkansas's team, and three, what college did he come from? And that's the thing, right? As we get going here this morning, you can jump in with us, Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Colton, you did know the answer, correct? And I didn't have the roster in front of me. I just kind of, there's some of the names that I've kind of, like I've got in my head now, I'm good. I can rattle them off pretty quick. But like a guy like Caden Kittler. Anyone know who he's from?
That's your center from Central Florida, correct?
There you go. Correct. Mike Washington. Colton, by the way, does not have the key. He does not have the answers.
I do not have the answers in front of me. Mike Washington, a running back. It's one of the New Mexicos. I don't remember if it's state or just, the institution itself.
Yeah, close enough. Cam Shanks.
That's your
played him last year.
That's your All-American punt returner slot receiver from Alabama Birmingham, former Blazer.
Yep. Jaden Platt.
A&M tight end.
Yes. Now at Arkansas. Phillip Lee, Troy.
Oh, yeah, that's what I didn't remember the college, but is your edge player, defensive end?
Yep, defensive end. And then Julian Neal, who you got a chance. You or Christian that got a chance to interview?
Christian got a chance to interview him. He's the defensive back that was, I believe, at Fresno State and then at Stanford for like half of a second, and because of the transfer portal, and then made his way to Fayetteville.
Isn't that wild though? And I can't remember if he was teammates with Raylan Sharp, who was another Arkansas transfer player. I can't remember if they crossed paths or not at Fresno State. But isn't that crazy? Like, who's that Razorback? And it's the way it is in college football, but Arkansas's had a lot of turnover. I want to say that the stat is nearly 50% of the Razorbacks roster is turnover. And that's what Tommy's really been pushing the last week or so. Really prior to SEC Media Days, is the excitement level may be less with Arkansas's football because you don't know anybody. You don't. So that's where we're going to start here this morning. We'll have some fun with that throughout the morning. We're brought to you by the Inn at the Mill. If you're looking forward to football games this season, which regardless of what people say, everyone's excited for football season, not necessarily just Arkansas, but maybe you need a place to stay in Fayetteville. Look no further than the Inn at the Mill when you're staying for games in Fayetteville. It's conveniently located at the Johnson exit. We always have a fantastic time when we stay there. I've stayed there for, who's surprised about this, a wedding. Stayed there for shows that we would do in Northwest Arkansas the next day. Whatever the case may be, give them a call, 479-443-1800, or visit them inatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. Now, it was cool. Like, we're gonna hear from Xavier Sorey. He's going to be our opening drive this morning. We caught up with him at SEC Media Days, talking with him. It's like, hey, defensive guys, like, we know Steven Dix is your playing mate. He's back with you at the linebacker position. But some of the other guys, Bradley Shaw, who we saw a little bit last year, some of the young bucks, Cam Ball, defensive line turnover. There's a lot of D-line turnover. hey, Cam, what are some of the guys that you look like? And he's rattling off names like I feel like the guy that has gotten the most attention, at least from the offseason, got it pub thus far, is Justice Boone, Florida transfer. So you've gotten some guys from high-caliber SEC schools the last couple years, and you're hoping that maybe, hey, this edition could be another big one for Arkansas. Now, I'm still of the belief that we're not having this conversation if the team is 8-4 or 9-3 last year. We're not worried because I guarantee you, if you listen to ESPN Mississippi, if you listen to Bo Bounds or Richard Cross or Jake Wimberly or any of the guys that do sports talk radio there, the concern for Ole Miss is not, let me rephrase. There is not a lack of excitement across Mississippi, at least with Ole Miss. Mississippi State, maybe so. There's an uphill battle for Jeff Lebby and company. But when you parlay all these different things, the last consecutive years, how like the team ended, and by the way, they didn't end on a bad note last year. They won the Liberty Bowl. Pittman hasn't lost a bowl game since he's been here. So I know some people make it out to be like the worst thing ever. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's great because it's not either. But that's where you are right now, where you got no idea what the roster. If you're just a casual fan, like we're less than 40 days out, right? Is it 39 or 38?
39 on the dot.
39 on the dot. We're 39 days out, and a good chunk of you, and I'm not blaming you, like it's my job to know these guys. It's Colton's job to know these guys. Tommy and everyone else on the station to know these guys. Now, we're on as in-depth as, say, Tom Murphy, who's going to join us coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. But it is odd that you don't know, 75% of the two deep? Mm-hmm. A lot of those guys I just mentioned are either going to be starters or on the two deep. Like, you know Xavier Sorey. You know Cam Ball. You know Taylon Green. But when you look at the wide receiver group and the defensive line, there's a lot of guys that you have no clue. Not just if they're going to be players for Arkansas, if they're going to produce, but just what's going to happen moving forward.
Well, when would you have seen them, Ty? When would you have seen them?
Different teams or...
Yeah, but you're not watching Fresno State play football, are you? But you might have been able to see them if there would have been a spring game potentially. But it got rained out, right?
Yeah,
and see that I think that has kind of flown under the radar. You can't control when Mother Nature decides that it wants to rain or not. You can't control any of that. But for a school like Arkansas, where you are the number one big ticket item in a little tiny state of 3 million people, I don't know if you can afford to not put that talent on display at least one time in some sort of scenario where you let the fans, the people that are going to be spending thousands of dollars traveling from, everywhere in the corner of the state up to Fayetteville to watch your team play, you got to put something on display for them to get a little bit excited about, to have any idea who they're talking about, who they're rooting for, who the heck is 84 that just caught that touchdown pass. I don't want to have to consult my game guide. They should be able to know. So no spring game. I think that kind of hurt the fan base and the expectation for this ball club a lot more than people think.
Yeah, I don't disagree whatsoever. Like I said, Bruce Dan, not here. Tommy Kraft, not here. But we get a chance to talk with Xavier Sorey. He's our opening drive, brought to you by Pradco this morning.
Xavier Sorey, just a missile off the edge once again. Second time we've seen him time these blitzes up perfectly. Unaccounted for. Another negative play.
Bailaki hit in the backfield and spilled by Xavier Sorey. A loss of 4 on the play.
Back to throw. Got some time. Short. Deflected. And intercepted by Sorey. A deflection and a pick. And if it all stands the way it's called on the field, Arkansas is going to get the ball, and there's going to be a face mask penalty too.
This is the opening drive.
Right back here, Radio Row, SEC Media Days. Here with who have I been saying the best player in Arkansas football is on all week? What have I said? We got the funniest guy here. We got the face of the team, and then we got the best player on the Arkansas Razorbacks, Xavier Sorey, linebacker for Arkansas. And Xavier, I want to go back to the initial process. You landed in Fayetteville. Obviously, we're not too far where you used to play in Athens, Georgia. Now you're here in Atlanta. What pushed you to come to Fayetteville? What pushed you over the edge, man?
Honestly, Coach T. Will, and just seeing what type of guy he is, what type of coach he is, and I wanted come over here with Coach T. Will, and that really was it.
Cam was talking. He was speaking praises to Coach T. Will earlier. He is known, whether it's his playing days at Auburn. Like I was talking to a college classmate of his who's doing radio over there. Cam was talking about what makes him such a good coach and communicator with you guys on defense.
I would say his understanding of his players, and him really wanting his players to be more successful, maybe than they want to be more successful. Like Coach T. Will want us to be above average, like he above greatness. Like it really shows, and you know what I mean. He does a good job at that, and yeah, it's hard to explain Coach T. Will, man. If you just got to meet him to see, but he's a great guy, and yeah.
Xavier, you played at IMG Academy. What led to the decision to, because you were at Campbellton High School, or I know that's the town you're from, but what led to that decision to go to IMG? And tell us kind of what that process was like for you that led you to Georgia and ultimately to Arkansas. I'm from Campbellton, Florida, but we didn't have a school, so I had to go to Graceville High School, and it was maybe 15 minutes down the road, and it was a small 1A school in Florida. Our football team had like 25, 26 players on the whole roster. Like whole roster was 1A, so I'm going into my senior year. I knew I kind of needed to get around some competition and all, and decided to go to IMG, and got around some great players, some great coaches, and you know what I mean? So, obviously, you played both ways in high school with 26 players on the roster.
Offense, defense. I was a kicker, punter,
all right,
everything.
What'd you play on offense?
I played quarterback 1 year. A couple years I played running back. Let me see, quarterback, running back, and really just those two positions on offense.
And how'd you end up at linebacker? I mean, how did you end up settling, or deciding? Settling shouldn't be the right word. How did you end up deciding linebacker was the spot for you?
Well, like going into college, I was an athlete, and I've only been playing inside linebacker for, since about 2022. So my freshman year, I was an outside linebacker. So being in the box, I only a couple years. So
and that experience in high school, playing running back, playing quarterback, how does that help you, maybe understand the instincts, or maybe what's going to happen next when you're in the box, when you're in the middle of the field now?
I think running back and linebacker is like compatible, like on both sides of the ball. Like a running back hits the hole just like a linebacker hits the hole. Like we see the same thing they kind of see, and I feel like if you play both in high school, if you play both positions in high school, it really helps you out as a player. Just to understand what's going on, and like even if the hole is not there, and like, okay, I know he's probably yep.
You have great instinct. I think you just ended like just shy of 10 tackles for loss last year. I think about how many drives were stalled because you just knew what was coming, shot the gap, beat the lineman, and beat two. Where does that come from, man?
Instincts. Playing basketball. That's probably one of the biggest things for me. Like a lot of times, a lot of moves, basketball helps you. It helps you.
Where are you in the pecking order of the football, basketball players on the team? Like, where do you rank on the football team basketball?
I'm the number one hooper on the team.
Number one on hooper.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Y'all have some good pickup games?
No, we don't. As a team bonding event, maybe. Well, right before 4th of July, we had went to like a little park thing and did kind of like a team bonding where we grilled and stuff, and then we had like a 3-point shootout. But as far as playing basketball, I think we older players like, we don't think that's
it
smart.
Looked fun, and that was the video that got shot, right?
It was. We were shooting 3-point shootout. So yeah, we had fun a little day, nice little team bonding, and just building the team, building the team.
So what have you been doing this summer outside of obviously preparing for this season? Cam, we were just talking to Cam about barbecue and stuff. What do you like to do off the field, man?
I like to fish, and I like to do things like that. I'm more of sort of like a country guy. If y'all look up Campbellton and y'all just see it's a little bit country, dirt roads and things like that.
One stoplight,
one store, and a Dollar General. That's all we got.
It. Yeah,
that's all we got.
That's the Campbellton Super Center, right? Exactly right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Have you found you a spot you like to wet a line there in Northwest Arkansas?
I haven't yet, but last year Hudson Clark took me to Bull Shoals or something. We did a little trout fishing.
You went on the White River then?
White River. That's
there
exactly
you go.
What we did a little trout fishing, had a little rooster.
That's what I like to do. Yeah, that's my deal.
It definitely was fun. We was out there in the water. That was my first time actually getting in the water with the spacers and stuff on.
Yeah,
so
the waders.
Have waders.
Did you fly fish or was it a spin casting? What kind of fishing did you do?
It wasn't fly fishing. I think I had a rooster tail on it.
All right.
If I can call it correctly.
No, you're on it.
Keeping it on top of the water, just,
Yeah, all right.
Yes, sir.
So that's certainly one of our favorite pastimes. One of the things I enjoy to do. All right, redshirt senior season. What are some of the goals for you personally? What do you want to accomplish in this final season, and what are some of the goals for your defense this year?
Personally, I just want to be a dominant player, a dominant football player, and just destroy everything in front of me. Honestly, that's kind of my mindset, and go take it. Go take whatever's out there that I think is mine. Just go take it. And for the defense, man, just play and keep people out of our end zone. You know what I mean? I think that's one of our biggest things, keeping people out of our end zone and running around playing fast like a madman. Like a madman.
What's it like having your playing partner, Steven Dix, next to you again this year? I know he came in like you did last year. Just the continuity there at linebacker.
Man, it's great to have him. Like, he's like my partner in crime, you know what I mean? So just having him, and, he got a lot of knowledge. He was at Florida State and Marshall, and, Steven's a great player. He's working his tail off right now in this offseason, and it make everything easier playing beside him.
You got a couple young bucks, Tavion and Bradley Shaw as well. I know Bradley got in last year. Tavion coming in. What can you tell us about some of the young guys at your position?
Oh yeah, those guys, they working, man. They working, all of them. Brad, Tavion, all of them. They all working right now. Brad, he's top 3 right now, and
I remember looking at him in high school. It's like, that didn't look like a high school senior. It looks like a college senior, him coming out.
Brad is different. Brad Shaw, he's a different animal, man. He's one of them ones. I promise he's one of them ones. And, I'm excited to see him too. Like, players like that, I'm excited to see and excited for them just go out there and have fun. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Well, that's going to do it for us here with Xavier Sori on Radio Row SEC Media Days. Maybe even the best fit. Maybe got the best fit. Was it a contest between you, Talon, and Cam? Who's going to be the best fit today?
Man, nah, it wasn't a contest. I just had my mom and my sisters help me with this one.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Well, we appreciate you joining us, David.
Yes,
Thanks,
I
man.
appreciate y'all.
All right, good stuff from an all-SEC linebacker, though not described that by the all-SEC or by the SEC media. I think he's going to end up being that type of player for a team. Colton, you were collecting some highlights and stuff before the show, and I remember because I was in Stillwater for that Oklahoma State game. Not only was he great in that game, but he was great throughout the regular season for this Arkansas team. I think he ended up with 99 tackles, if I remember that right, but just did everything he could to beat the Cowboys, and it just wasn't enough defensively.
Well, he's a really talented player, and I think there was a little clip in there that made me laugh talking about him just, going to find the ball on defense, and that was what the highlights that I watched this morning was, just, kind of, taking my walk down memory lane again, going through some of the highlights from defensive plays last season for the Razorbacks, and he just is a prototypical linebacker that is always finding himself right in front of the ball, which is exactly what you want. And you said it, Ty. I think he does have the potential to be an all-SEC player, and if he is able to rise to that level, I think that you have to feel pretty good about some of the other guys on that defense. You mentioned it in the interview, Tavion Wallace, Bradley Shaw. Those are guys that have a lot of talent and promise as well and are really young. So if those guys can get up to snuff pretty quickly, I like what the Razorback defense can do this year.
All right, that's your opening drive. Typically, we talk Pradco Pyramid of Power Rankings, but again, Bruce is with his grandchild, so congratulations to the Stanton family. So our opening drive brought to you this morning by Pradco Fishing. They're made right here in Arkansas. The Booyah Bait Company and the Booyah Mobster, the hottest jibbing jib right here on the Arkansas River. It's designed by the Muddy Water Mob, located here in Arkansas and Oklahoma, winning tournaments all over the place. It's available at LearnThat.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma. The Booyah Mobster from Pradco. So Xavier is a guy that you feel like can be an all-SEC guy by the end of the year, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think Talon's going to rise to that level. I don't think your running backs are. Maybe Cam Shanks gets a part of the punt return SEC, but I don't think a wide receiver, tight end, no. Carmona's already been listed. Don't know if there's any other all-SEC linemen on your offensive line. Cam's been listed as the third team all-defensive lineman. Don't know if there's any all-defensive linemen there. I think, again, Sorey's going to be one of those guys. Don't think there's anyone on the back end. And, again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about the assumption that you don't have one of those guys. But what I'm doing is I'm laying out for you when you look at these all-SEC lists and you see Texas and Alabama and Georgia and LSU, guys littered up and down the first, second, and third all-SEC teams, and not just at one position group, but across the board. Now, that's a combination from recruiting, development, and just pure talent that it's not necessarily on this campus right now. Again, I'm not trying to paint the bleakest of pictures because Xavier very much could be a second or third team all-SEC linebacker. He has the talent to do so. I just don't know how many pieces left on this roster for this upcoming season are in that special group. You can still win games without 10 or 12 all-SEC teamers. It's just an uphill battle that this Arkansas football team has to face this fall.
Well, and one of the things is that, at the other schools side, with everybody that has the all-ACC players all across the board, the guy behind them, number 2 on the depth chart, he's probably as good as some of the Razorback players too. Unfortunately, that's the harsh truth too, is that you also don't have
Drew Sanders, Sorey.
You don't have the depth that it takes also to compete and win these games of consequence at the end of the year, these one-score games too, and that's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, some of the best Razorback teams were the teams that didn't have depth. So
sometimes you can get away with it. Hopefully this team can get away with it this year. Hey, if you're betting on Arkansas, like I've got this group text right now with 2 buddies of mine. One of them thinks that Arkansas is going to win 8 games this year. Well, if you're high on Arkansas and the win totals this season, go to the Oaklawn Sports app, download in the Apple Store or on Google Play right now. You can bet on college football, the NFL. We're got some Jerry Jones audio we're going to get to coming up. Maybe WNBA right now, MLB. You can do it all on the Oaklawn Sports app. There's qualifying 3-leg parlays that earn you a profit boost up to 10% more. Do it all on the Oaklawn Sports app. So many ways, debit, credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay to add to your account on the Oaklawn Sports app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Hog Update is next.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush Podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Knocks down the lane, shot goes and one.
This is the Morning Rush. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
When she wrecked your heart, we were there to pick up the pieces with you. Now that you've wrecked your car, we can help with that too. Dog bite? Slip and fall? Car crash? Call Jackie Mock. 15 years in the insurance industry taught me the tricks to get you paid. Call for your wreck check today. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice. A wreck check sounds nice.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlin.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
7 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, woo victory. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
That was Jerry Jones, former Arkansas Razorback, discussing the ongoing contract negotiations. Some would call it a dispute between him, Stephen, and Micah Parsons. Little twist. Micah Parsons was out, 4 games last year, Colton?
I think so.
Not 6. And him talking about Dak Prescott, which I think was valid in terms of the time that Prescott was out. But the interesting part to all of this is J.J. Watt's take on it. Anytime you publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you just got to take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are they got hurt while fighting for you. and Micah Parsons has since retweeted that said tweet. So listen, Dallas Cowboys, not just America's team, they're Arkansas's team, whether you like it or not. I know Chiefs fans would disagree. There are still more Dallas Cowboys fans in the state than there are Kansas City Chiefs fans. But this is a very interesting dynamic heading into this season with one of the best players in the National Football League.
Did you watch any of that press conference with him and Stephen Jones yesterday?
Yeah.
It was a little weird. That was a little strange for me. And Stephen Jones, he says, Jerry doesn't talk to agents, I do. I would never admit that. I would have put that blame on your dad. I mean, he would take it gleefully. He has for years. So now you're admitting that you're probably one of the worst ran front offices in all of professional football. Because J.J. Watt is absolutely right. So yes, your star quarterback does unfortunately get injured after you decide to pay him an ungodly amount of money for some reason. But, okay, you take that fall. So I understand not wanting to run that risk again with Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons is a better player than Dak Prescott. You should pay him the money. The whole press conference was strange. What the Cowboys do is strange, but people will turn that TV on. They're going to watch. They're going to fill up AT&T Stadium.
Here's another clip.
The other thing I would say is contracts are 4 or 5 years. Okay? There's a lot of water under the bridge if you step out there and do something in the first 2 or 3. You can get hit by a car. Seriously. And so there's a lot to look at over a lot of years. It could make a big difference. Have you ever heard of any clubs committing to players and then they didn't pan out after they committed to them? We have.
Like you said, it was a very interesting press conference, to say the least. All right, we'll keep the Arkansas football conversation, but actually come back to what's happening here in Fayetteville. Anyone see the football team got to go to the home office of Walmart yesterday? I don't know if Doug McMillan, Arkansas grad, CEO of Walmart, orchestrated that, or one of his marketing team members. But I thought that was kind of cool. Get a chance to, and they have these different, I don't want to call them leadership summits, but they have these different business things where they get a chance, football, basketball, baseball. There's other sports on campus that get to participate as well. I mean, that's the benefit of having Walmart in your own backyard. Not only do all the retailers have to have offices of some sort in NWA, but I mean, you got one of the biggest Fortune 500, probably Fortune 100 companies right here in Arkansas. Just thought that was a cool experience for the football team.
Taking advantage of those blue light specials, like Pittman likes to call them, I'm sure. That is pretty cool, though, and I think that the leadership aspect that you mentioned and like the hookup that they have is good with all is good with all these companies, and it gives those guys a chance to do something after college if things don't pan out for them athletically.
I saw this other thing. The Athletic is putting out Matt Baker, I believe is the guy's name, that is ranking college football teams based on evaluation. Arkansas ranks at number 23. 23rd overall, over $640 million is what they've been evaluated by. So, again, private equity there's a lot of different things going on with different businesses. I'm curious if we ever get to that point where someone legitimately buys a college athletics department, not just the football program, but something down the road. Also want to mention Isaiah Joe is going to join us tomorrow in studio. Really excited about that. He's going to join us a little after 9 o'clock. I was corresponding with his dad, Derek, and it's like, he can just do it over the phone. He's like, no, he wants to come in studio. I was like, all right. So we're going to have an NBA champion, Northside Grit, with us tomorrow. So really excited about that. Tommy's going to be back for that as well. All right, that's going to do it for your Hog Update this morning. Always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
All right, so have you seen the trailer for the new Happy Gilmore?
I have. It looks okay.
I think it looks terrible. I
was being generous.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like garbage.
It looks awful. Let's ask our pop culture expert, David Rath Mitsubishi. David, is there any anticipation, any excitement for Happy Gilmore 2, or are you just going to ignore it like I might?
No, man, I got to be excited about Happy Gilmore 2.
You like
I love the original, and it's not like I have to go to the theater. It's a Netflix movie, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just going to be at my house.
I just don't.
Yeah,
I hope they don't
totally
ruin the. I hope they don't ruin the movie. We'll see.
Oh, you can't ruin Happy Gilmore, dude. The original's it's too good.
Okay,
it's too good. They ain't gonna mess it up. Even if the new one's not that great, it doesn't make Doesn't make the original worse. It'll be all right.
Well, that's the infectious positivity you always get at Rath Mitsubishi. David, I know you guys got stuff on Outlanders right now, rates, rebates, got a big stockpile of pre-owned vehicles as well at Rath Auto Resources in Rath Mitsubishi, where you are in Springdale.
We do, man. We've been really buying a lot lately on the pre-owned side, buying local cars. We love doing that. Folks bringing in their vehicles. We don't have to trade with you. I think a lot of people think that if they're not buying a car from the dealership, that they don't really have the option of selling that car there. But at least as far as we're concerned, we love to see them. So even if maybe we didn't have the right thing for you, or maybe you're going to buy something we don't sell, right? Maybe you're buying a brand new Chevy pickup truck or something, and you want a second opinion on your trade-in there, bring it to us. We don't get beat out on that stuff very often. We might be able to put a little money back in your pocket and get you a little more for that vehicle. And if not, we just make you feel better about the number you already got, right? It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a trip in. And we can do that at either store. So we do that here at the Mitsubishi store in Springdale, or we can take care of you on Towson Avenue there in Fort Smith. But we love to look at those local cars. That's a lot of how we're beefing up the used inventory here. And, man, it's making for a really good set of cars.
Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, and where David is at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, you can give him your Happy Gilmore review once you go see it. Tell him if it was worth the time or not. It sounds like David is going to partake in it at some point with the kiddos and the wife at the house. Well, let me know how it is when is out. Colton, when is it? Isn't it out this month?
I think so. I think it's on Friday. I'm not sure.
I believe that's correct. Well, David, let me know how. Let me know how it is next week. Okay.
I'll do it, man.
All right, that's David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. We've got our Morning Rush Daily Question when we come back.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Yesterday, I said that we don't apologize here.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlin.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Join the one and only NBA champ Jalen Williams and OBI for a special blood drive at the Fort Smith Convention Center, July 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Donate blood and score a limited edition J. Will t-shirt plus 50 plus lucky donors, and up to 3 guests each will have a chance to meet J. Will and snap a photo with the legend. Save lives, one day, one legend, one pint at a time. Spots are limited, so book now at obi.com/events.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
So I saw you put in our notes the report from Matt Norlander that Kentucky is thought to be spending nearly 50% of their revenue sharing budget for men's basketball this upcoming season. A little over $9 million. That's a report. That doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. Norlander usually knows his stuff in basketball, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Most SEC schools are spending a third of what Kentucky is spending. Now, Tommy was talking about this a couple weeks ago. By the way, Tommy's fishing this morning. He'll be back with us tomorrow, as will Isaiah Joe. Excited about that. A third. That's what most... Now, I don't know what Arkansas is spending. Don't have those financials in front of me. But I want to ask you this. Here's our Morning Rush Daily question. I think you're close to winning the national championship in basketball. We've seen the baseball team come up real close here these last few years. Really, the last 6 years, they've been close a handful of times, 3 times. If I told you right now, and I said 26 and beyond, as long as Cal's here, 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, we're going to invest more in basketball than typical SEC programs. You'll have an SEC football team that's kind of around 500 like we've been, but the basketball team's going to win it. A national championship. Would you do that? Would you be willing to stomach another 3 or 4 years of a mediocre football program, around 500, for a chance to win a basketball national championship? 877-377-6963. Now, I'm one of the few people in Arkansas that would actually like the basketball team to win a national championship more than the football team, if they were both remotely possible, same percentages whatsoever. Because I'm more of a basketball fan than I am a football fan. I love football. College football season is the best. There's no denying the regular season of college football. But nothing gets me more animated than Arkansas basketball. And it will be that way probably the rest of my life until I meet a significant other that ticks me off. So I posed that question to you, Colton, and our audience. If you had a chance to push NIL, or to push revenue, not NIL, different pot, push that towards basketball like Kentucky sounds like they're doing, next 3 to 4 years, they win a national championship, but you're going to be like a 6-win program the next 4 years. Are you stomaching that? Or can you not deal with that football team for nearly 20 years of having kind of that around 500 record?
Well, Ty, you're alone on Richardson Island by yourself talking about how much you value basketball more than football. I am in that camp of people that would probably take the football dominance and not quite so milquetoast every single year. But for me, I think it's also the decision goes into the fact that Ty, if you think of all the schools that you associate with college basketball, are those brands bigger than the college football brands of school? Because to me, the Kentucky brand isn't as big as the Alabama football brand or the Georgia football brand or Ohio State football brand or, Notre Dame football brand.
Mm-hmm.
That's just maybe Kansas, maybe some of those schools. But, Gonzaga basketball, those are, those aren't the same thing. So if you want to be relevant, you want to have people watching your product, watching your state, watching your athletes, rooting for that pig on the side of the helmet or the front of the jersey. You definitely want to have football be the main cash cow for your university, and it always will be. It's what it's going to be making the most money. So therefore, you have to put the most money into it. That's just my perspective from a business sense, and I have very little, obviously, but from a fan sense, I can get with you where you're saying that you want the basketball team to be more, or you want the basketball team to get that investment because you feel like they're closer to reaching, to that level anyway. But for me, I think that you have to continue to invest in that football program because, for every 3 football games or for every 3 basketball games that you fill up Bud Walton Arena, 1 sellout. Donald W. Reynolds does the same thing.
That's a good point. And I'm even of the belief, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope both these programs win, but I'm of the belief that you're more likely to see a Razorback basketball national championship in the next 3 or 4 years than you would baseball. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you see both.
And I think you'll see, sorry, Ty, I think what you'll see at Kentucky is that you probably won't see competitive football or baseball teams there for quite a while. If Kentucky's going to make this much of an investment, the best players that are going to go get paid somewhere else, they're not going to take a cheap payday just to go just to go have Big Blue Nation cheer for them. No.
Stoops is going to get let go. I don't remember what Kentucky did in baseball
TikTok
this year.
Coach, I don't know.
Nick Bengione. I can't remember what happened there. By the way, speaking of Kentucky, Will Levis is having surgery. Cam Ward's going to be that starter for Tennessee. You want to know who the backup is? Mr. Brandon Allen.
Sorry, baby.
So, BA continuing to just stay in the National Football League. He's been there about a decade, continuing to be a teammate, and him and Traylon, 2 Arkansas guys. I can't remember if Hollister's still on that team or not. You got at least 2 Hogs there, though. Hopefully, might get a chance to see one connect. I know they weren't on the same team, being that Traylon came a few years after BA, but that'd be cool to see a Razorback connection in the National Football League again later on this season. But I want to read some of these texts here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Nathan is the pessimist this morning. He says, newsflash, Ty, they're going to be mediocre no matter what. Nathan, I think, I've said this and I'll say it again, I think 2021, it's like you can get equal to or less than. I don't know if Sam Pittman can ever top what he did in 2021 because you had maybe the most underrated player you've had in the last 20 years in Traylon Burks, who somehow, someway did not have a touchdown his freshman year because of the lack of execution from Chad Morris. Mm-hmm. And then with the first drive under Bryles, they scored a touchdown against Georgia. I mean, it's just like I'm watching that game and I'm like, how the hell did we waste his entire freshman year? Daniel in Greenwood, he said he would take that deal for the basketball. Bruce in Nashville says, heck yeah, on basketball, cut Sam Pittman's pay. It's not in the same pot. The same pot, the revenue, I guess it is from the athletics department. I guess it is to a certain degree, but it's not. That wasn't the question. So again, the question, Card Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question, would you put more chips into basketball like Kentucky is seemingly doing, reportedly doing according to Matt Norlander, next 3 or 4 years for a national championship, but have a football team that goes like 500 the next 4 or 5 years? Kentucky, like you said, is going to be abysmal in football. If this is what they're going to do, they are going to be bad. They haven't been good for the most part. They're going to be worse. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't speak to the baseball program and what Mingio, but their football programs could be bad. Stoops is going to get let go either this year or next year, and they're going to have to rebuild. Nathan, 2021 was not one win better than mediocre. Come on, man. They lost 2021. Let's think about 2021. Listen, Sam gets enough crap on these airwaves from time to time. And there'll be times I'll defend him. There's time. 2021, they lost by Ole Miss in Oxford by 1 point. They should have won that game. They should have just ran it. Mm-hmm. I'm still ticked about that 2-point conversion. Bryce Young, even though he had like 565 yards against him that day, you lost to him by a touchdown. It was unbelievable. Probably the best Alabama quarterback not to win a national championship under Nick Saban. And let's see. They go, again, 9-4. You're going to have to help me with the other 2 losses that they had that year. I'm I'm gonna have to. The Auburn game, they just looked awful. Bo Nix came in and they just ate you up. That was an inexplicable game. Didn't understand it, but that was not one win better than mediocre, Nathan. It wasn't. That was a really good year. That was the best year that we've had since 2011. That was better than Bielema's 8-5 year. Think about that. So start with 2012. The best year of any coach, of Bielema, Morris, don't even have to include Morris, of Bielema or Pittman, is Sam Pittman in 2021. Now, that doesn't excuse the one-score losses the last 3 years. It doesn't. But that's reality. That's what happened in the last decade and a half. I don't know what they're going to do with the money, but I'm curious about that. Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf destination in Arkansas. It's Tuesday, right? So from today, from 9, about 45 minutes ago, till 5, Christian Olsen, Nate Guerin, $25 per bay per hour. That's the special in July. So you got one more of these. You got today. Hey, maybe you're listening right now. Maybe you need a long lunch break. Maybe you want to cut class of sorts. Half day off the rest of the day. Cart Pass Social, #1 indoor golf destination in all of Arkansas. Go to cartpasssocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social, 122 Grant Place in Lowell.
You can get a lot of swings in an hour for $25.
Yeah, for $25.
That's a really good deal.
You can play an entire course. You can play Portrush. You can play play. If I could get my words out this morning, Bethpage. Gosh, jeez,
Bethpage Black.
Bethpage Black. You had said something earlier I want to come back to, if that's okay, because we got a text about it earlier from Andy in Mountain Home here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. They handled the spring game poorly. It was embarrassing. Here's my opinion on the spring game. Would that completely change the dynamics of what you think about this upcoming season? No. Would it probably have helped? A little bit. But the issue, and I can't remember, you're going to have to help me on this. I think it was either rescheduled already or it's going to be rescheduled in August for fall camp. The issue was the people that did make the trip, you canceled the autograph session. That was the issue that day. And that was a poor decision. I don't know if Sam Pittman made that call. I don't know who made that call. That was the decision. Not playing in the rain, not trying to play in the indoors with the turf, which we know is not great. We've had issues. Like that's not the bad thing. I can't remember if it's grass on the inside or not. I might be mistaken on that. That wasn't the issue that day. The issue that day was the fans that did make the trip to Razorback Stadium and were excited. You got young kids, you got grandkids, whatever, that wanted to meet their favorite players and meet Coach Pittman. That was the issue that day. Didn't have an issue of them canceling the game itself. That was what I had a problem with. They shouldn't have done that. They made a mistake. We're crying over spilled milk now, Andy. But again, we joke about like spring games. Now you got coaches like T. Will's been open about it. You got coaches. He doesn't even want to tell you who's good because you got these other coaches, these leeches, i.e. Lane Kiffin. They're going to stroll into your program and pluck some of your best guys. Like, think about it. Chris Paul, all SEC type of linebacker, right? Didn't hurt as much as you thought it when you lost him because you had key pieces. But that was a big loss, and you would have loved to have him back. Jalen Braxton was a first-team All-SEC freshman, if I remember that right. I know Luke Hasz was before he got injured. And then, you add Patrick Kudus to this offensive line? You going to tell me they're going to be worse? That's the issue with spring games.
Can I shoot two stone birds right here or kill two birds with one stone, whatever the saying is? I don't remember. Can we just play spring games every year from now on at War Memorial? I would think that's just the way to do it. Just play a spring game every year at War Memorial. Call it good. Doesn't matter.
Curious to see what that would look like. Hey, APAC and Standard Materials Group, #1 source for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-to-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, call them. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. That's 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. Nathan, if you disagree with anything I've just said, please call us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. That's where Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette is going to be when we rejoin you in Hour 2.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
You looking to revamp your closet? Tired of wearing the same old stuff? Hey, Ty Richardson for Roback, one of our new partners here at ESPN Arkansas. Hoodies, joggers, polos, you name it, they have it. Thankfully, Roback is licensed by the University of Arkansas, so you can add to your Razorback collection. Here's the best part. Because you're an ESPN Arkansas listener, you're going to get 20% off your first order. Just use the code RUSH25 at Roback.com. That's RHOBACK.com.
This is the Morning Rush.
The summer sales drive continues at Rath Auto Resources. Right now, save up to $6,000 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle, reconditioned and backed by limited warranty. We've got you covered for your service needs as well, with half-off brakes and special financing available for those larger repairs. With our live market painless pricing and non-commissioned sales staff, we're committed to taking the hassle out of buying a quality pre-owned vehicle in the River Valley. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Join the one and only NBA champ Jalen Williams and OBI for a special blood drive at the Fort Smith Convention Center, July 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Donate blood and score a limited edition J. Will t-shirt plus 50 plus lucky donors, and up to 3 guests each will have a chance to meet J. Will and snap a photo with the legend. Save lives, one day, one legend, one pint at a time. Spots are limited, so book now at obi.com/events.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the upper 90s, mainly clear sky, low 70s overnight. Wednesday, blue sky, sunshine, another really hot day, a high in the upper 90s, and we should be well into the mid to upper 90s as we head through Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 39 days.
But the average fan is out there excited about seeing Rohan Jones play this year?
Do you know what position?
Exactly. That was my next question. Does the average fan know what position Rohan Jones plays?
Who's that handsome hog? Who's calling through the fog? And who's that fearsome pig? So brave and strong and big. The fiercest swine in all the land. Never second best, he has the upper hand. Let's test your roster knowledge. Favorite college. Sit up straight, cut the yakety yak. It's time for a name that Razorback.
What position do you play, Ty?
It's tight end.
Tight end. Who was the tight end?
Lucas.
And how many people still think he is?
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Hey, it's hour number 2 of The Morning Rush here on a Tuesday. Unfortunately, Tommy's not here. Bruce Stanton wasn't here. He welcomed his grandchild. So it's just me and Colton the next hour. So hopefully it won't be as bad as you think it's going to be. Luckily, Tom Murphy here to save us. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, coming up in just a bit. Get his thoughts on SEC Media Days this last week. Kevin Trainor's got a new job. We had a text earlier about that. KT's, I want to make sure I have this right. He is the new Associate Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer of the Arkansas Alumni Association. Kevin's been with the U of A Athletics Department for 30-plus years, bunch of different capacities there. So I know I was pretty disappointed when he was let go. So had a chance to see him in Atlanta last week. I was excited to see that news, as were about 100,000 other people when that announcement came down. So I know Tom has got a relationship with him, so we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. And I want you to hold your horses on the War Memorial topic that you brought up.
It's like a bat signal.
No, we got some text already, and I've got something I want to tie into tomorrow. I'm hoping Brett Norsworthy Stats, who does radio in Memphis, is going to join us. I know he's got some strong takes, so just hold off. Just hold, because I've got something. It's on the rundown today, but I think I'm just going to save it till Tommy gets back here tomorrow. Is that okay? Can you hold on to it till tomorrow? Is that cool?
I mean, I can hold on to it. I'll bottle it up.
Okay,
I'll save it.
Bottle it up. All right, let's get with Tom coming up in just a sec. Hey, I've got big news. So, mention Isaiah Joe's going to be with us tomorrow. His teammate, not just at Northside, wasn't a teammate at Arkansas, but obviously with Oklahoma City. Jalen Williams got something he's partnering with. The OBI for the special blood drive at the Fort Smith Convention Center, which is this Thursday, 2 days from now, from 8:30 to 1:30, 8:30 a.m. till 1:30. Donate blood and score a limited edition J-Will t-shirt while supplies last. Let's see. 50-plus lucky donors, up to 3 guest eats, will get to meet J-Will and snap a photo with the NBA champion. 10 lucky donors will win merchandise and gear autographed by J-Will. Each donation can save up to 3 lives. Spots are limited, so reserve your donation time at obi.org/events. That's obi.org/events. Be a lifesaver, give a pint, and gain a memory and meet a legend. The Blood Institute is the 6th largest independent blood center in the nation, with 17 donor centers in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. They provide blood to patients in 240 hospitals, medical facilities, and more. Donated blood only takes an hour, and you can save someone's life. So again, this Thursday from 8:30 to 1:30 at the Fort Smith Convention Center, get a chance to meet J-Will. Well, we bring in our friend Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports.
Tom was bringing his dog in. He told me to waffle for just a second, and I will say that I did not mean to jump the gun on the War Memorial stuff, but it is like a bat signal. You just mention those two words in succession, and you get the two types of people. Tear it down, blow it up, and then I was there when London Crawford caught that pass in the end zone. But I will hold off, but you got to promise to bring it tomorrow.
Okay, I will do my best to bring it tomorrow. I guess the debate, and I want to stay away from the volatility that usually comes from that stadium. There are, if you think about the great memories in that facility, Block at the Rock, Carlos Hall, I think it was 21 against your former head coach Lou Holtz, South Carolina. 2002, obviously, our teammate Matt Jones, the pass to Corey Birmingham. 2008, the one you just referred to, Casey Dick finding London Crawford, Miracle and Markham 2. And then 2010, the late Ryan Mallett finding Joe Adams on that 4th and 3 on the Honey Badger, by the way, who's wearing number 14. He wasn't number 7 just yet. That ripped you apart a year later. But those are the if you want to bring up something fun and not, again, that ticks people off, those are some memories that I think stand out. And there's years before that a lot of you could harken back to, but my database that I could just snap to basically is 2000 and past that, and it's a little harder for that. All right, is Tom good to go? All right, let's bring him in. Tom, do we have dog issues this morning? We good to go, buddy? What's going on?
We are perfect to go, man. I was dropping my daughter's dog off. I have a doctor appointment here in just a few minutes, but we're all good. Clean.
Dad of the year, man, per usual. Well, Tom, before you came on, man, we were talking a little bit about KT. I know you, me, and him had a chance to catch up in Atlanta. This is a guy that's worked for the U of A for 30-plus years, Kevin Trainer, known by KT, by you, and so many others in the media. What was your excitement level when you saw that announcement yesterday from the Arkansas Alumni Association?
Well, very much so. And, yeah, I've been buddies with Kevin. Like, even when I was covering Alabama and I would come here for games, I would check in with him, and it was Maryland back in the day, and get a parking pass for the day or whatever I would need, which was always really handy. And, years and years ago, we used to do player features on game week on a player for the other team, and I chose Matt Jones one time. And Kevin Trainer gets Matt Jones on the phone with me after a practice one day, and Matt wasn't particularly verbose. I was trying to ask him questions about maybe running for office or something one day. I don't think he wanted to give away anything to the opposing team's media, but anyway, they set that up. So Kevin and I have been buddies for a long, long time. I mean, basically, once he took over for Rick Schaefer. And I'm just happy. I knew something would open up for him. He's so well regarded around here that you just hate that the cuts were so deep that it affected somebody like him with his seniority. And but I have pretty good faith that he's going to carry on as his moderator role at the SEC Media Days. He did one of the two teams at the SEC at the championship, college football playoff championship. He'd handle one of the two teams, and then he's been involved with the Cotton Bowl and many other facets of college athletics over the years. So I was happy to see it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were. You mentioned the athletic department cuts. Again, there's a lot of fluctuation, a lot of things going on, not just here in Fayetteville, but across the country with collegiate sports. One of the things that Colton and I were kicking around earlier, Tom, it's reportedly in Lexington that Kentucky is spending nearly 50%, 45% on the revenue distribution for men's basketball. Your kind of thoughts to that report, and is Arkansas the only other school in the SEC that would even consider doing something like that when it comes to their basketball program?
Well, that's a great question, and I have to say, if that's accurate reporting, 45% is probably higher, substantially higher, and maybe 20 percentage points higher than most every other, the allocated numbers I've seen that are just rough numbers, estimates for most programs. But I don't know. I mean, Tennessee would certainly want to keep its basketball team in the limelight with Rick Barnes. They've been doing well. Auburn and Alabama both have been doing well. But football is a cash cow, man. I mean, it's you've got to be able to compete in football. And honestly, that's what that's what's been hurting Arkansas a little bit. Across the board, their sports have been doing great. They finished very well in the Learfield Cup standings every year.
Mm-hmm.
But the football just hasn't kept the pace.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette here on the Morning Rush. Tom, did you glean anything different or noteworthy from Sam Pittman on Thursday? Anything new that we didn't already know outside of maybe I always say Cisse. You're going to have to help me on Ishmael's last name, but anything new that you picked up from last week?
Yeah, well, they say pronounced it Cisse,
yeah.
like you just said, but that's kind of what we were told at the beginning. I'll say this. I was very much anticipating what his attitude would be like. Like, could he generate enthusiasm for the season? Because, that's one of Tommy Kraft's big takes is how can they be excited about the season? And I thought he did a pretty good job in that regard by saying, hey, we have a veteran team. I like the leadership. We're a big team. We look like an SEC team, and we also have speed. But so many pieces are going to have to fit, and they're going to have to avoid injuries at so many spots. I just think their line is a lot finer than a lot of teams on what it will take for them to be good and to challenge and to win games. I mean, because the schedule's so daunting. So, but no, I thought he had a good attitude about what the season's going to be like. I mean, to me, one of the key lines was, if I wasn't ready for this, if I didn't think we would be a good team and I wasn't ready for this challenge this year, I could have gone off to the lake, and I'm here instead. So, he was ready he's ready to take this season on, and yeah, it's got a lot of challenges to it. The road games are so hard, Ole Miss and Tennessee, and that's before you even have a conference road game. A home game is you have Ole Miss and Tennessee, and then you still got LSU and Texas to go on the road. And all those teams are, picked higher than Arkansas in the standings. You really got to take care. You got to win. You got to beat Arkansas State week 2. You got to go over there and take care of business against Memphis, and then and see where the rest falls into place. And then you got to win your home games as well.
On those road games, Tom, you think about where they lie in the schedule. With Ole Miss, and then you go to Memphis the week after, and then you come back to Notre Dame. You got that bye, and then you got Tennessee, and then LSU and Texas back-to-back later on in the season. Again, that is a schedule that a lot of other opponents would not like. I wonder, is there any thought to trying to do what Missouri is doing? I don't know if we joked about their schedule. Heck, Eli joked about it within his first opening remarks, like, hey, thanks, Womack, for the schedule, but they also have scheduled light. And I know that there's games down the road to come, but Tom, is there any thought to trying to schedule some cupcakes to give Arkansas some early confidence before you go to the gauntlet that is the SEC that will at some point eventually be 9 games?
I'm sure they would love to be able to do that. It just hasn't worked out. I mean, they've always had A&M early on, which isn't going to be an easy game, and I don't know. They always seem to have a pretty tough conference opener. But you know what? I did not realize how soft, quote, soft Missouri's schedule was until Eli said something, and I got to looking at it and like, holy smokes. How do you start the season with 6 games at home, before you go anywhere? I mean, Arkansas plays in 4 different venues by the time those 6 weeks are over, which is just crazy. But, as I've gone through, I'm writing, the daily team previews. Texas's schedule was thought, and maybe somewhere in the top 10 in the country. It is so flipping hard. They started Ohio State, and, they played Georgia on the road and I think Bama on the road. But anyway, a lot of the top contenders Texas has on the road, and they're picked to win the conference. And I think that is a very daunting schedule.
They got to play Florida and Gainesville too. You saw what DJ Lagway did to Ole Miss last year. Don't underestimate that game either.
No, you can't. So it's just going to be a tough run for Florida, and for Arkansas, I just hate it that it sets up so daunting when other teams like Ole Miss in recent years, they've had such light. I mean, they're playing Tulane and Austin Peay's of the world in their early part, and then they'll have a Vanderbilt or last year it was Kentucky, and they tripped up at home against Kentucky. And if they don't lose that game or lose the late game against Florida, they're probably in the playoffs. And that was their big opportunity, and they didn't make it happen. So, yeah, would I wish that Arkansas had a schedule like that one year in the conference? Sure. It just hasn't seemed like it's set up since I've been covering the team.
Now, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. You just wrote about South Carolina, right? I'm not misremembering that.
Yeah, I did.
All right, I was reading that, and I was reading it like at 5 a.m. this morning, so my memory's a little foggy. But South Carolina's in a unique position, and we were kind of talking about this last week. You think in terms of just football programs well, there's a lot of hype in Columbia, and deservedly so. They got a top 3 quarterback in the league, Lenora Sellers. That's the program I think we talked about a little bit that's most like you, right? In terms of where they are in the SEC. Both came in 92. And they've had a couple of good years under Spurrier, one under, I guess, Holtz, and now they feel like they're going to roll under Beamer. Is that the most similar program, you think, Tom? I think we kind of agreed on that.
I think in a lot of ways, like how they're regarded in their state. They do have Clemson in their state,
yeah.
But yes, I do think revenues equally or around the same, and just their level of success. Now Arkansas, with the Southwest Conference days, clearly had a better football tradition, and Arkansas has better basketball. But I do believe they're comparable programs, and basically their relative stature in SEC football right now.
Tom, you mentioned and we're talking with Tom Murphy, by the way, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I brought up the Kentucky and the 45% they're reportedly spending on basketball. I saw with NIL the last few years for Texas A&M, they spent like $2 million on women's basketball or women's sports, and they spent $49 on men's sports. That's according to the Bryan College Station Eagle and Alex Miller. Tom, I guess my question to that would be, is it going to be so lopsided, you think, with the revenue distribution as well, kind of like it's been with NIL? Are women's sports just kind of, left out to dry to a certain degree when it comes to the distribution of funds for student athletes?
Well, it's certainly going to be a discrepancy, and we might see some lawsuits arise from that. But however, it's a product of revenue generation.
Yep.
And simply the revenue sports are in order: men's football, and then basketball. And a lot of schools don't make money on baseball. Arkansas is one of the few who does. But the other sports are losing money, and I don't know if there's a solution. But remember, this is revenue sharing. It's not scholarships and all those other things, cost of attendance, that still apply, that still make a scholarship very valuable. So I don't know if the numbers are going to be drastically different across the board, but you don't see a huge percentage given out to the women's sports at this time, and I don't know what would have to happen to change that. Attendance at places like South Carolina is good, and there's some others.
Yeah.
But you look across the SEC, it's not great in women's basketball even, which is kind of the premier sport. But you know what? OU, I think, is giving money to its gymnastics. They're a powerhouse, and they have been for a long time. So I think their gymnastics might get a little bit.
Tom, before we let you go here, mention taking away some things from some Sam Pittman. I like the Lake House quote that you were just talking about. Collectively, from last week, is there anything you think our audience needs to be made aware of, or maybe a big talking point from the Southeastern Conference or any other coach as we let you go this morning?
Well, that's a great question. I will say this. I came away from media days, and when you hear all summer, it doesn't seem to be a lot of excitement. There's not a thought that Arkansas is going to be a really strong SEC team. They might not contend. But when they have guys representing them, and I thought Taylor Green was much more like comfortable, even articulate. Last year I thought his quotes ran a little bit long and he repeated himself a little. I thought he was on point. He was very well spoken. All the guys were super well dressed. Having Cam Ball was just a great thing for him to be back in Atlanta with his dad's picture around his pen. And then Xavier Story was a good spokesman. I think the only argument you could have made was Fernando Carmona would have certainly been a lot more gregarious, big talker than Xavier Story really is. But otherwise, good selections. And I don't know. I came away thinking, all right, maybe if they stay healthy, if they make improvements with Talon, and the defense can do things to get pressure, then maybe they have a chance to give Notre Dame a good run. Maybe they give Ole Miss a good run on the road, and maybe change what the narrative of what people think of this season.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always. We'll chat. Tommy will be back with us on Thursday, and we'll continue to talk Arkansas football as we're 39 days out.
Sounds like a plan. See ya.
That's our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. All right, we got more to get to. SEC update coming up. Before we do, Colton's going to tell you about Art's Barbecue and Burgers.
Yeah, right now I'm starving. Thinking about Art's right now. Art's Barbecue and Burgers is where to go for the best burgers. They have several to choose from. The Wild West burgers topped with a hot link and jalapeno, plus that delicious Art's hot sauce. And my favorite, the famous burger they have is the Art's Attack. It's topped with house bacon, smoked ham, onion ring, and the best part, they got that fried egg on top. It just runs down the rest of the burger. It's delicious. Can't get any better than that. Don't miss the brisket burger as well. Tender brisket and caramelized onions. The most famous burger, that Art's Attack. Got to get that as well. House salads, everything. It can't get any better than Art's Barbecue and Burgers. It's where to go for all of your barbecue and burger cravings. And can't forget all the delicious sides they have at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's.
All right, when we come back, we got that SEC update we were telling you about, some Nico Iamaleava stuff that Kurt Herbstreit was talking about. Josh Pate also had a report on that, which I found interesting. So we'll touch on that. Cowherd said something about the SEC and Big Ten that I want to also get to. Plus, Colton has a birth plan that he wrote down in the rundown that we need to discuss. We continue on the Morning Rush here on a Tuesday next.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
Knowing if something bad happens, with the coaching staff, I know that I'll still want to be in Fayetteville regardless.
This is the Morning Rush.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Like life, vacations don't always go as planned. If your summer getaway turned into a summer tow-away, don't hire an attorney you don't know from a state you'll never go back to. Hire me, Jackie Mott. I'm licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but I can process wreck checks no matter where you crashed. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a wreck check sounds nice.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Do you want to be home every weekend, use brand new equipment, and make a competitive salary? Then let me tell you about Lavorne Lumber. They're looking to fill a regional over-the-road position. So if this sounds like a great next job opportunity for you, call 479-646-4685. That's 646-4685. 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith and online at Lavorne, Lovvorn lumber.com. Lavorne Lumber. Pam and the Bills will take care of you.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Think about this. The best offensive player in college football is a Buckeye. The best defensive player, Caleb Downs, is a Buckeye. The recruiting, once again, was through the roof. Their NIL money is through the roof. And Penn State was picked to win the Big Ten. I think Penn State's going to face Texas in the national championship. And I think this is one of those things, and it's going to be hard to stomach for a lot of people. The Big Ten is officially better than the SEC. It's not just that Ohio State won the Natty last year. It's that they humiliated Tennessee and dominated Texas.
All right, let's hold the phone for just a sec. Let's clarify some things. We know that Colin Cowherd is with Fox, obviously a big proponent of the Big Ten. Don't blame him for having that take. And the Big Ten has won the last 2 national championships with Michigan and Ohio State. But no one with any sense of logic or any sense of college football acumen is arguing that the Big Ten from top to bottom is better than the Southeastern Conference. It's not. Ohio State can compete in the SEC. I don't think there's any question about that. We've seen it. We've seen it in some of these playoff games before. But it's as a whole collectively. Now it is. The onus is now on the Southeastern Conference to win this year. Just like the onus was on the basketball, one of the basketball teams, i.e. Florida, to pull out a national championship, which they did. First SEC basketball national championship since 2012. Baseball team keeps winning. Would have been nice if Arkansas had beaten LSU and added another SEC team to win its first ever national championship. We know the Tigers were able to do it. But it's Georgia, it's Texas, it's Alabama, it's LSU. Is anyone else in that conversation? Like South Carolina is a name. Ole Miss is a name. but I don't actually realistically think that either of those two teams can win a national championship. Do you, Colton?
No, I don't think that, South Carolina or Ole Miss, top to bottom, first of all, Ole Miss is not going to have a top-tier defense enough to compete and shut down teams that they'll need to, in my opinion. And South Carolina can be good. I know we saw a decent sample size of Lenora Sellers last year, but that's still, I think, I'm first of all, I don't like Shane Beamer. So I don't, I have my own personal bias against
the worst
the Gamecocks,
coach loser in all of sports.
I know, he is. He's a sore
and Bielema
loser.
and him hate each other, which is hilarious.
That is a very funny thing. But for me, South Carolina and Ole Miss, you said it, Ty, they're just names. They're just, fill them out on the paper.
Yeah, that's kind of my. I mean, they'll be 9-3, a really good football team, but I would be surprised if either of those teams could actually, win the national championship. A team that I did not mention is Tennessee, and they've gotten a lot of offseason attention with the Nico Iamaleava stuff. It's been really interesting. Well, Kurt Herbstreit, and it's what is it, John Chris podcast, Colton? I can't think of I can't think of what podcast. I want to give credit, but he was on this podcast and talking about some Nico stuff, and I don't want to get into it because this story continues to intrigue me.
I don't know the true story. I've heard different stories. Some people thought it was about money. I've heard from close sources it was more about Nico's dad going to Josh back in December before they played Ohio State, like, hey, listen, you got to get better at offensive line and better at receiver. You got to get better around him if you want us to stick around, which blows my mind that a college quarterback's dad would do that to a head coach. And I think at the end of the day, when they got into spring ball, it was still more of you haven't brought people in to make him and this offense better. Again, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was hearing.
Now, this is all this quote you just heard is coming off the heels of a report from Josh Pate, 24/7 Sports, who in my opinion is like the best college football commentator there is right now, that said Nico nearly sat out the Ohio State college football playoff game. Can you imagine that? Like, apparently Quinshon Judkins did the same thing a year or so ago. That was reported. Don't know how accurate that is, but it was at least reported. But can you imagine if you're Josh Heupel, like this, if this had already occurred and then the spring stuff happens, I don't blame him one bit for saying, you know what, we got to move on. No one's bigger than the T. That would drive me nuts if I was a Tennessee fan. I don't know if they're better off with Joey Aguilar or not, but I think they at least made the right move for not just Tennessee, but the rest of college football. All right, keeping your SEC update going. Former Kentucky quarterback Will Levis is getting surgery. That means Cam Ward's going to be the starter for the Tennessee Titans. Who's the backup, Colton?
Mr. Brandon Allen.
Brandon Allen. Hopefully, Cam Ward likes Traylon Burks. Hopefully, if BA gets in, he finds Razorback. They weren't ever teammates together, but their training camp starts today. I'm trying to get Traylon on with us. We'll see if that ends up happening. I'm in communication with their director of media. I think Dwight Spradlin is the guy's name, so I'm hoping we make that happen. All right, last thing here in your SEC update before we get to Cecil. We've talked about this report this morning. Kentucky is apparently spending 45% of their revenue sharing budget, according to Matt Norlander, on basketball. Don't know if this is 100% true, but usually Norlander knows his stuff when it comes to college basketball. So curious if there's anything that comes out of that.
Well, with all this money going into basketball now and all their fans knowing that, I don't think that makes Mark Pope's leash a little bit tighter than people think, because if you have the most money being poured into your program out of anybody in college basketball and you still don't win.
I didn't think about that.
You still don't win? Oh, he won't last long.
All right, that's your SEC update this morning, brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Today is Tuesday, so you can always take advantage of Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They got Throwback Thursday with Kuko's Classics. That used to be the home of Joe's Grill and Cantina. They've got specials every single day. Take advantage of the full bar, the TVs. Great place to watch Razorback games when we get those going back here in 39 days from now. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith. Joe's Grill and Cantina, Tex-Mex style. To the phones. Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Cecil is patiently waiting. Cecil, it's been a while, man. What's up?
Yeah, it's been a while. Summertime, people doing their thing. It's football season now, so, I'm going to probably be hitting it every day. That wasn't Greeny. That was, I listened to him. Actually, I watch him, too. It's on ESPN. and he makes the statement about Texas going to win the next championship. Man, we are in the SEC, bro. We in the SEC. I mean, Texas is good, but honestly, let me ask you a question, Ty, before I keep going. Is Texas, is they all the starters are returning?
No, they lost. They lost a good chunk of their offensive linemen. They lost a skill position player or two. Quinn Ewers is gone. They've got 60% of their defense back, if I remember reading that right. So they got a good defense again.
And Brad Spence.
Okay.
Yeah, and Brad Spence.
Okay. How the freak are you going to make a national statement as they're going to win the national championship when you're in the SEC? I mean, hey, everybody's spending money. And ain't no Rudy Poots in the SEC. It's better play. And another thing, sometimes you can get players same size, same height, even better than the ones that they spend a lot of money on. It just depends. It don't click like that. It's just a chemistry of players playing together. And to make a statement like that, man, that's just Rudy Putin
So
the league.
what do you think was off about Cowherd's statement? I'm confused, Cecil.
Well, what he said that what did he say? Ohio State and Texas in the national championship.
He said
Is that what he said?
He said Penn State in Texas.
Oh, Penn State. Yes. But how can you? I mean, I know everybody has their own opinion, but how could you? What are they saying? Because of the quarterback they got this year, the Manning boy.
Well, Arch for Texas and Drew Aller for Penn State, and Texas typically has one of the best collections of talent. They've been in the college football playoff the last 2 years.
I still don't think they're going to do it. That's my opinion.
I hope you're right. I hope once again.
And I was at the Texas game, and the only way Texas beat it, the only reason why Texas we lost by 7 points. Is that correct?
2010.
2010. We lost by 10 points. We had like 4 turnovers. And 3 of them we was in there to score. So if we wouldn't have turned the ball over, we'd have beat Texas.
I feel like there was wasn't there an interception that tipped off Broden Sand? I remember CJ.
It was the interception, and then it was a pass to oh God, who was that? He did like a screen pass and he ran.
CJ Brown.
Yeah, and then he fumbled and just we just shot ourselves in the foot, man. Hopefully we can do better this year. I'm hyped up. I stay hyped up over here on Midland.
There you go,
I
buddy.
stay hyped. Go Hogs.
Go Hogs, Cecil. 877-377-6963. Again, Texas, you think about, since 2005, so they win the national championship against Pete Carroll and USC. They went to play Greg McElroy in Alabama in 2009. They've been in the college football playoff a couple times, but from like 2010 to, what was it, like 23, like a decade and a half almost, they weren't really a pivotal point of college football. Unfortunately, and I know all y'all hate hearing this, I think they're going to be a factor from here on out. I do. Now, I've said, and I'll say it again, I think Arkansas is going to go into Austin in Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium and win that game. Not because I'm supremely confident in Arkansas's roster or anything else. I just like where it fits in the schedule. Texas plays Georgia the week before in Athens. Week after they host Texas A&M. They don't care about Arkansas at all. I don't care what Sark said at media days. I don't care that he talked about them getting their ass kicked as he called it back in 2021. They don't care about Arkansas. They don't. Their fans don't. The players don't. The coaches don't. Doesn't matter what they say on record. They don't care, which is great for us because that means we got a better chance to beat them. We had no business competing with that team last year, and yet they gave it their all. 2010, like Cecil was talking about, a play or two away, you might win that football game. I mean, that defense, Arkansas's defense, this is where I get frustrated when people criticize Travis Williams. Look at that game. Look at what Texas did the majority of the season offensively and how they just ripped teams apart outside of like Ohio State and Georgia. I mean, they ate teams alive last year. You had 2 bad games defensively where you didn't have a chance to win. LSU and Ole Miss. The other 11, defense gave you a chance to win. In today's day and age of college football, you're not going to hold teams to like 7 points or 10 points. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Travis Williams and his unit, for a 3rd consecutive year, if I had to guess, are going to put you in games to win. They are not necessarily going to win games for you, like, say, a Georgia defense, but they're at least going to put you in chances to win.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Well, what Travis does, Ty, what Coach Williams does, and you talked about it, Texas, they had been a high-flying team all year, so 20 points for them was not a good showing for them. And the reason why is Coach Williams has made his money since his days, since he's been a defensive coordinator here, at taking away what the offense wants to do, making them try and do something completely different. Go to the most basic stuff, the stuff they know works. So all the gadget plays and the stuff that they've schemed up just for Arkansas is not going to work because Travis Williams is doing something different. So to your point, Ty, yes, most of the time, Travis Williams is scheming up the team into these games. There's only been one game that I can remember since he's been here where his scheme, what he tried to do, was just absolutely picked apart, and Ole Miss beat you and they scored 63 points on you at home. But outside of that, he has kept you in more ball games than your offense has, by and large.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be a situation this year when you go on the road, which St. Pittman's teams, oddly enough, have played better on the road. When you go to Memphis, when you go to Oxford, you go to Knoxville, you go to Baton Rouge, you go to Austin, you'll be in these games. And hopefully, knock on wood, you will be able to not just compete like you have, but actually win some of these one-score ball games, something Sam Pittman talked about a little bit. Real quick, we got to hit a break soon. What's this? So Colton in what, less than a month?
Yeah, we were at
Young
9
Littles
months.
do.
We were at 9 months last Monday. Had an appointment this past Monday, yesterday as well.
Weekly meet.
It's weekly now.
Not meetings. Weekly appointments.
Weekly appointments. And we had these appointments, and they're basically meetings for me. I just kind of sit there and smile. But we went over the game plan for the birth plan last night, and my job is to sit there, be supportive, make sure I know what's going on, try my best not to pass out and freak out because my wife may be in a potentially, very severe amount of pain. I'm not very good in situations like this. I'm probably going to do my best not to panic, but I have been given a small list of responsibilities that have to be done. Among those things is once he is here, I will be following him around as they take him places and do all these things because she said, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me for just a little bit. Make sure that he's okay. So during that, I'm also in charge with filling out all of his paperwork, which means that I can hijack his name. And I just want to know, I've seen this opportunity for myself, this little 10 inches of daylight that I have, like I'm Gale Sayers. And I just want to know if I should take this time to pick the name that I actually wanted and not the one that we agreed upon. Should I do this and then just, and then maybe, as the mail comes in for him, because he's a baby, he doesn't get mail, right? I mean, when is she going to know that his name is actually something different than it's supposed to be?
It's like, I think about have you ever seen The League where they lose, Kevin, one of the TV characters, loses a bet and his friend Taco gets to name his son Chalupa Batman, even though his real name is what it's like, it's CB, but it's something else. It's like Chris Broderick or something like that, something fancy or whatever, but he calls him Chalupa Batman, and it's really frustrating for him. So, I mean, I guess your wife's going to hate you for eternity if you do that.
It's not that I want to change the name so much. It's just
B
that I
says
want to.
No, not at all.
I just want to add a couple more because there's no law. There's no law for how many names that you can have. You just may be viewed as pretentious, and the government may hate you for having to, break out the typewriter for extra letters, but there's no, I went to a graduation one time, and there was a guy that graduated from my alma mater at Arkansas Tech who, honest to God, had 6 names. And in the middle of those names was the name, Stonewall Jackson, which is a Civil War general. And to me, just, throwing in somebody else's name in the middle of that name is just, yeah, it was. But, I mean, still, I just think that, adding in, someone's name and an extra name, I think that's pretty cool, and I don't think anybody can stop me.
Well, Scott says name or divorce.
Yeah.
Your call.
We'll see.
Scott, that's a perfect text as we
She wouldn't divorce me over the name. I mean, you can call him whatever you want.
Colton's got a lot to ponder here in these next few weeks prior to his kids'
But
birth.
the consensus is that I should not, I guess, on the text line. We'll see.
It doesn't look like you should. If
Colton
you
Darren McFadden Little. That's pretty good to me, Junior.
Keep your marriage intact. All right, we've got our final segment coming up, a little CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers trivia. Before we go to break, got to tell you about Gaston's. It's always a great place. I know that Tommy was talking with Xavier Sori a little bit earlier in the first hour about Gaston's, a place that you can always go. White River, there's nothing like it across the United States. 870-431-5202. And you say, Ty, why do you say that? Well, when I went to Bozeman, Montana, and you got Wyomingians or whatever you call them up there, they knew about the White River. They knew about the prestige and the fishing of the White River. You've got something special right here in your own backyard. So give Clint, give Jacob, give their team a call, 870-431-5202. Go online to Gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
I think I spent a little too much money buying these people beers.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Seconds making a play. Short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right cover.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You live every.
The worldwide leader in sports.
It was her first ball game with my wife, and we ended up on that field. We were in section 104.
Brother, you just turned the light bulb on. You gotta go with somebody. At least I go with a winner.
Tommy, they're great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Graff.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Certainly appreciate the kind words. I don't know if we would qualify ourselves as great. Good is more like us as we close out the morning rush here on a Tuesday edition. Tommy's gone fishing. He'll be back tomorrow, as will Isaiah Joe. Excited to talk with the NBA champion tomorrow. I know Jalen's got, they've both got actually the events coming up, so we're really excited to catch up with Zay in studio tomorrow. Hey, before we get to our CJ's Trivia Tuesday, which we always give away a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card, got to tell you about the Burton Pools and Spas summer clearance event right now. Well, you want to take advantage of the Doughboy Somerville above ground pool that's just over $7,000. Jump right in. Plus, you get a 5-year warranty while they last. Low maintenance. Plus, the fiberglass plunge pools starting for under $40,000. Soak it all in with a 7-person hot tub, not 8 like I've been with. 7-person hot tub, only $74.99, delivered included. Hurry in one of Burton's 4 locations. Yes, they have 4 locations now across our state. BurtonPools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. All right, so we've kicked around this morning just like the idea of like players, right, that you're unfamiliar with. So for our CJ's Trivia Tuesday, it's got to be something Arkansas football related. Let's get into it.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple of burgers?
Those are good burgers, brother.
Archer Burger. My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... Just for burgers.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All right, so we've talked about transfers this wise for Arkansas football. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open, so you might want to just call now. I might have to rattle through some few. I think we had 1 or 2 misses last week. $25 to CJ's, both in Russellville and Fayetteville on the line. Omega Blake, what position does he play? Where did he transfer from? The second question, I'll accept 2 answers because technically they're both true. 877-377-6963. Omega Blake, what position does he play? And then where did he transfer from? It's wild when you look at the 2 deep of Arkansas's roster this upcoming season. How many guys are transfer players? And not just guys, like Cam Ball is the exception. SEC Media Days wise, you think about the 3 guys you brought. Taylor Green, a transfer player from the year before. Xavier Sori, a transfer player from the year before. Group of 5, Boise State. Power 4, can't even say 5. Power 4 in Georgia. That's the way of college football nowadays. And when you have a guy that sticks around like Cam does, and he talked about that. He got to Arkansas before NIL and everything else. There's a commitment. There's a connection that he shares with not just Sam Pittman, but this campus and everything else. Excited that Cam has been named a 3rd-team All-SEC guy, and just and what he's going to bring to the table this year. But there's a lot of guys. All right, Colton, we've got I think a full call sheet. Who is up first for a $25 gift card to CJ?
Landon in Fayetteville called us first.
All right, Landon, what is the answer to our question? What position does he play, and where did he transfer from? I'll take 2 answers on the last one.
He played wide receiver, and he came from Charlotte.
That's correct.
Oh, boy.
It's Landis.
Okay. All right, Landon, hold on. We'll get to you during the break. We'll get your information. Great thing about it is this is just a participation type of segment. You participate like Landon just did, and you're rewarded with the $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burger gift card. 2 locations in Russellville, the Arkansas Avenue, the original location, and in Fayetteville off Weddington. Now, I always go burgers, fries, shakes, but you can do the chicken sandwich or salad in Northwest Arkansas. Their fry sauce is fantastic at both locations. Take CJ's home with you. Get a bottle of the CJ's Butcher Boy Burger seasoning. It is fantastic. I'm almost out. Tommy was out a few weeks ago, and he went and got some. I need to get some now. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Now their fries are made with beef towels, so they're even better. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And let me tell you, they are at CJ's. All right, we'll get our beefs in tomorrow. Excited about that. Again, Isaiah is coming in, so excited to talk with him. There's a few topics that I had down on the rundown that we didn't get to today. But this will be fun. We'll try and do a good job next 39 days of kind of not over the top, but just mentioning some players here and there. Because a lot of you, let's just be honest, and it's not your job like it is mine or Colton or Thomas. You don't know what the roster looks like. You got no clue. You know a few players. You know Cam. You know Xavier. You know Talon. but you look up and down, there's a lot of guys you're unfamiliar with. So, again, fall camp starts August 1st. I know that will, again, there'll be guys talking. We'll hear from Coach Pittman. I don't know if we'll hear from T-Will and Coach Petrino, but that is set to come. So we'll try and do that here in the upcoming days. But that's going to do it for us. For Colton Little, Ty Richardson, for Tom and Zaven Sori. Everyone have a great rest of your Tuesday. Halftime with Matt Jones and Big C is next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area.